think quitting drinking is just about less hangovers. I did too until I discovered these life-changing benefits I wish I had known sooner. When I decided to ditch the booze, I expected less misery, I expected less hangovers, not a complete life upgrade. And here's what I found out, and you will too if you decide to take the leap. First, your brain is going to turn on like never before. My mental clarity, my decision-making process, I was just sharper. You know, after years and years of drinking and constantly being in that fog, and you know, part of the reason was because half the time I was nursing a hangover, especially in my, you know, towards the end of my drinking. Half my time was being hungover, you know, being depressed, thinking about the decisions I made the last few days, and just battling myself. And as soon as that fog lifted, it was like I was a new person. I was getting things done at work, projects became easier, I was getting stuff done around the house. You know, it was like a completely new person. And I wasn't hungover all day, right? So when I go to do stuff, like, I'm ready to do it, I'm in the right state of mind to get those things done. Not, you know, trying to work on the yard or work on our house and being kind of hungover, not sure if I'm gonna throw up. That was all gone. Number two, your money is obviously gonna start piling up. Have you ever like tallied up how much you spend on alcohol daily or weekly or by the month? You'd be surprised. I never did, probably because I didn't want to know. I was too busy partying, too busy drinking to even think about that. But that adds up. And that amount of money saved up can go into other things that I enjoy. I probably spent, I'd say, $100 a weekend, $200-300 a weekend maybe sometimes. And you know, the bar tab adds up quick. And you know, you're not just buying drinks for yourself. You know, you're out there having a good time, buying drinks for other people. People are buying drinks for you. That stuff adds up. When you go out to eat, our alcohol tab would be more than what we paid for the food. And I don't have to deal with that anymore. Or I love to travel, and traveling's not cheap depending on where you go. And now that I don't drink while I travel, you know, my money lasts a lot longer. It adds up everywhere. And you can put that money towards more travel, more things you like to do. They're actually productive and not draining you. Your connections are gonna start to get real, right? It's not booze-filled conversations. Half the time, I didn't even remember what we even talked about. Whoever I was with, if it was my wife or friends or whoever, right? Now I enjoy conversations where we're talking about things that matter, talking about life, you know, overcoming obstacles in life, discussing where you're at now and where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Stuff like that. It's meaningful stuff, not bar banter and, you know, just making jokes and who knows what. Half the time I didn't even know what I was talking about anyway. And the odds of me remembering it the next day, 0. You're also going to discover the real you. You're going to develop confidence and even passions that you never knew you had. When you have time to focus on what's super important to you, or you want to try, you know, this new activity and this new project that you've always thought about but you never had the courage to set out and do it, that's a great feeling. I picked up a few different hobbies. I started boxing, I started doing lots of yoga, and I love those things, right? It's a good outlet, it's a good workout, clear your mind. And I've always wanted to try boxing, and finally I got into it, and I love it. Another great benefit is your sleep will become a dream, quite literally. When I was a kid, I used to dream wild, super vivid, lucid dreams. I could control what I was doing in my dreams, and you know, sometimes I knew I was dreaming, sometimes I didn't, but like I was actively in my dream controlling what I was doing. And sometimes I'd even be able to wake up and I'm like, wow, I'm really enjoying that dream. I could go back into that dream and continue where I left off. And that started to come back. And I have some wild dreams, and I enjoy it. It's like a whole nother realm. And just the quality of sleep is so much better. I sleep 7, 8, sometimes 9 or 10 hours, and I sleep hard. You know, I'm not wrestling around, I'm not laying there for, you know, an hour or two, just trying to fall asleep. When I was in college, it would take me hours to fall asleep. And I was drinking so much. We would go to this one bar on Saturday nights, and they would serve us vodka Rockstars, and of course we would get doubles, and the bartender, one of my buddies, was friends with him, so he would just pour these ridiculously disgusting double vodka Rockstars, and no wonder I couldn't sleep. I was so jacked up on energy drinks. I mean, at night I could go take a piss and wouldn't even have to turn on the lights because my piss would be glowing in the dark. Ridiculous. And I never put, you know, I was so oblivious to what I was doing. Like, I couldn't sleep, and I was like super irritable, angry. It was a fun time, but it also was awful. But now I sleep so good, and that's because A, I don't have the alcohol in me, but 2, you know, I wake up early. I'm hitting the gym, and I'm, you know, taking advantage. I'm seizing the day, and I'm not, you know, wasting around, laying around, watching YouTube. I'm actually focused on my coaching business, making YouTube videos, other projects, and it feels great. It feels great not to be held back by alcohol. It feels great to just be able to be my true self. And like, looking back, you know, when I was drinking and now, like, I'm not even the same person. Sometimes that makes me a little nervous, but ultimately, can't beat it. So you're sleeping better, you're thinking clearer, you have more money in your pocket, you have more meaningful relationships and connections in your life, and you're running on all cylinders, and it feels great. And in this process, you're gonna start to discover things about yourself you never knew. You're gonna tap into confidence like you've never had before. You're gonna discover new passions, or you're probably even going to reignite old passions. Things that you enjoyed when you were younger, before booze got in the way. For me, getting back into motocross has been just absolutely life-changing. I love it. You're gonna find something similar, you know? Or you might get into something new. Something that you've been wanting to try, something that you've been wanting to get into, but you just never had the confidence to do it, or the will to do it, or even the desire to do it. Like, yeah, you know, it'd be cool to get back into motocross, but whatever. Or you might start to get into new things. I always wanted to do boxing, and just never really looked into it for whatever reason. Well, it's because I was hungover all the time, and half my week was wasted. But I got into boxing, really enjoyed that, really enjoyed the physical and the mental challenge. And I've been looking to getting into jiu-jitsu, you know, all kinds of different things. I'm surfing a lot more, I'm snowboarding a lot more. And a lot of these things I never did because, you know, I do them on the weekends, and my weekends were, you know, at night I was drinking for 6, 7, 8 hours, and then I would be just laying in bed all day the next day. And so once I cut that out, I mean, all these different opportunities opened up for me, and it's been life-changing, really. You know, I feel like a kid again. You know, I'm the oldest I've ever been, but I'm definitely the healthiest mentally and physically. And I feel like a kid. You know, I'm doing all these fun things that I did when I was younger with my dad, and we still do those things together. And I find myself smiling ear to ear a lot more. So I didn't expect a lot of this, you know. Like I said, I knew I'd be less hungover, and it's been great. So I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching this. Let me know what things resonated most with you. Leave a comment in the comment section. Thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for more videos. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one.